I've never done so little, and yet experienced so much. In March, I was fresh back from back-to-back trips to Cognac and Japan, with the US and the Caribbean itineraries in place when COVID-19 resulted in a lockdown in Britain and most of Europe. And suddenly the parameters of my life centered on London, and initially, the small part of it that I live in, Islington. The last exhibition I saw before lockdown was Cecil Beaton's Bright Young Things at the National Portrait Gallery, a cavalcade of endlessly poised, elegant frivolity. At the time it frustrated me, all that talent going into something so ephemeral, but now I take a different view of how a generation, albeit a very privileged one, coped with the aftermath of World War I and the Spanish flu. After two devastating events, they had to find a new path forward. When the first lockdown was lifted, going to London's art galleries and museums was also a privilege, with just a handful of people, all of us conscious that we'd never see art in such perfect conditions. Some wonderful exhibitions opened in London in 2020. Artemisia at the National Gallery will only probably reach a fraction of footfall visits that it should. Gentileschi was raped as a teenager before her career took her from Rome, Florence, Vence and Naples before London. Once seen as a curiosity, her portraits of women, from maids to biblical depictions and self-portraits, have seen a 21st century evaluation for their complexity. This is one exhibition that I wish more people could see. It's open until January 24th. In terms of hotels, Birch would have made a splash in a normal year, let alone this one. Preferring to call itself community rather than a hotel, it occupies a rich experiential hinterland somewhere between a festival and a summer camp in a camply Gothic Victorian mansion plus a modern extension. Despite the stop-starts of lockdowns and tears, Birch has been packed every weekend since it opened in August. Room rates are reasonable, starting at £300 for a 3-night weekend, while the mattresses from Simba and bedlinen are top-notch but the frills are few. No room service, no daily housekeeping unless requested, no telephones, no desks, but the decor by London's current decor wunderkinds. Red Deer does retro with sustainability and wit, macrame helps with the 1970s youth offender vibe. You won't rave about the bathrooms, which date from its previous incarnation as a conference hotel, but you will about the food, sustainable, thoughtful and fun from Robin Gill. Coming here is about doing things, pottery, glass blowing, even macrame. 20 minutes outside London, with 140 rooms, Birch is big and steered by Chris Penn, former MD of the London Ace Hotel. It felt like the perfect template for a 21st century hospitality, where you can join kitchen staff in the morning to fold croissants, admire the rescue chickens and pigs. A peculiarly 2020 set of circumstances led me to the London Flower School.